Airbus A220. Funny enough, the A220 didn't start out as an Airbus at all. It was built by a Canadian company called Bombardier, originally under the name C-Series. Honestly, the plane was ahead of its time, but big ambitions, even bigger costs, and a lawsuit from Boeing that landed like a gut punch left Bombardier bleeding cash. By 2018, Airbus swooped in and took the whole project off their hands. There are two versions, a smaller one that seats around 100 passengers and a bigger one holding about 130. Both are built for short hops of a few hours. What passengers actually notice is the comfort, wider seats, bigger windows, and a cabin that's noticeably quieter than most planes its size. On a 2 to 3 hour flight, that's the difference between landing refreshed and landing wrecked. Delta and Air Canada fly it all the time, and passengers usually walk away liking it more than they expected. Airbus A300. This is the plane that started it all. The A300 was Airbus's very first commercial aircraft, and also the world's first twin-engine wide-body, a concept that was borderline crazy at the time, because everyone assumed a plane that big needed 3 or 4 engines to stay safe. Airbus called that bluff and proved 2 engines were more than enough, without giving up an inch on safety or performance. That gamble paying off is basically what put Airbus on the map as Boeing's first real rival. The A300 carried around 250 to 300 passengers and became a go-to for busy mid-range routes. Sales started slow out of the gate, but once a handful of airlines proved it was solid, trust built fast, and operators around the world climbed on board. Airbus kept refining it for over 3 decades before production wrapped up in 2007. It rarely hauls passengers these days, but the A300 found a second life as a cargo workhorse. FedEx and UPS still fly plenty of them, thanks to the big payload and low running costs. Kind of a downgrade in prestige maybe, but a solid retirement gig either way. More importantly, the A300 is the reason the A310, A330, A340, and the entire modern Airbus family exist. Call it the mother of the whole 300 series lineage. Airbus A318. The A318 is the runt of the A320 family, nicknamed the baby bus. Airbus built it for airlines that wanted A320 level comfort and tech, but only needed room for about 100 passengers. Visually, it's basically a shrunk-down A320, same DNA, just chopped shorter. Unfortunately, it showed up at the worst possible time. Airlines were already leaning toward cheaper regional jets, while the A319 and A320 kept winning on cost per seat. The A318 never really found its footing commercially. Only around 80 were ever built before Airbus called it quits. Still, it's got one genuine party trick. It can land at short, tricky runways like London City Airport, something most planes in its class simply can't pull off. These days, spotting an A318 in the wild is a rare treat, basically the collector's item of the Airbus family. Airbus A319. The A319 is the shorter sibling of the A320, carrying about 120 to 150 passengers. For years, it was the sweet spot for a lot of airlines, the perfect balance between capacity, range, and cost. If a route was too small for a full A320, but too big for a regional jet, the A319 was almost always the answer. Major carriers like American Airlines, United, Lufthansa, EasyJet, and Air France ran hundreds of them worldwide, often on routes with shorter runways or lighter passenger demand. But once the A320neo family rolled out, plenty of airlines started swapping their A319s for the more fuel-efficient A320neo or A321neo. Production has ended, but you'll still spot A319s all over the world, and it's remembered as one of the true success stories of the A320 family. Airbus A320. This is Airbus's golden goose, the best-selling jet in aviation history. Over 11,000 units delivered, with thousands more still on order. It carries roughly 150 to 180 passengers on short to medium routes worldwide. If you've ever flown a budget airline in Europe or hopped a domestic flight almost anywhere, odds are you were on one of these. When it launched in the late 80s, the A320 was one of the first commercial jets to fly on a digital fly-by-wire system. Computers translating pilot input while keeping the plane inside safe operating limits. That tech went on to become the industry standard on nearly every modern airliner. Most A320s flying today are the A320-200, which has a longer range than the original A320-100, a version so rare it barely counted. Airbus later rolled out the A320neo, short for New Engine Option, packing new generation engines and aerodynamic tweaks that slash fuel burn by about 20% compared to the older models. To this day, the A320 is still the backbone of short and medium-haul flying around the globe. Airbus A321 and A321XLR. The A321 is basically the A320 stretched out, holding up to 220 passengers. Airlines needed it for busy routes where the A320 filled up too fast. With more seats but none of the operating costs of a wide-body, the A321 quietly became one of the most popular members of the whole family. Airbus then rolled out the A321neo, pairing the A321's frame with newer, thirstier for efficiency engines. That gave birth to the A321LR, long range, capable of flying oceanic routes in a narrow-body jet, something that used to be unthinkable. Airbus doubled down on that success with the A321XLR, extra long range, which can fly non-stop for around 11 hours, nearly double what most planes its size can handle. Since entering service in 2024, the A321XLR has let airlines launch direct routes between cities that never had enough demand to justify a wide-body jet. It's genuinely reshaped how airlines plan long-haul networks, and it's easily one of the most important commercial aircraft flying today. Airbus A330. The A330 first took to the skies back in 1994, and airlines are still ordering it today. Proof that this thing just refuses to quit. It's a wide-body jet, meaning 2 aisles down the cabin, carrying anywhere from 250 to 440 passengers, depending on how it's configured. The shorter A330-200 handles long routes that don't need massive capacity, while the longer A330-300 covers busier routes, especially across Asia and the Middle East. Airbus later upgraded it with new engines and rebranded it the A330neo. Quieter, more fuel-efficient, with better cabin lighting and more overhead bin space. It's not the flashiest plane in the sky, but it's one of the most dependable, still landing new orders more than 30 years after its debut. Airbus A340. The A340 was built to solve a problem that doesn't even exist anymore. Back in the day, regulations required any aircraft crossing long stretches of ocean to have 4 engines for safety. The A340 was Airbus's answer to that rule. It came in several versions and flew some of the longest routes in the world, non-stop between Europe and South America, Asia, and North America. At the time, almost nothing else could cover that kind of distance without a stop. But as engine tech got better, twin-engine jets got cleared to fly those same oceanic routes. Suddenly, the A330 could do the exact same job with 2 engines instead of 4. Less fuel to burn, less maintenance to deal with. The A340 became too expensive to justify. Orders dried up, and Airbus shut down the production line in 2011 after building around 380 of them. A handful still fly with smaller airlines, but they're getting rarer by the year. It's not that the A340 was a bad plane. Time just moved faster than it did. Airbus A350. The A350 is Airbus's flagship long-haul jet and the plane they're betting their future on. Most of the airframe is built from lightweight composite materials instead of traditional metal, making it stronger and more fuel-efficient than older generation jets. Passengers feel the difference too. Better cabin pressure and humidity mean you land at the end of a long flight without feeling like you got hit by a truck. The A350-900 carries around 300 to 350 passengers and flies non-stop up to 16 hours. Qatar Airways was an early adopter and remains its biggest operator. The bigger A350-1000 holds up to 410 passengers and flies even farther. Qantas has ordered a special version for a non-stop Sydney to London route, clocking in at nearly 20 hours, set to become the longest scheduled flight in the world. And right now, the A350 is the only plane on Earth that can pull it off. Airbus A380. Airbus thought this was the future of flying. Turns out they were wrong. Spot one at the airport for the first time, and you will stop dead in your tracks. Full double-deck cabin top to bottom, 4 engines, and room for over 500 passengers. This thing is an absolute unit. Airbus launched it in 2007, betting that moving more people with fewer planes was the future of aviation. Made sense on paper, but filling 500 seats consistently turned out to be a lot harder than expected, and only the busiest routes on Earth could really support it. Development alone cost a staggering $25 billion. Airlines started handing planes back sooner than planned, and Airbus pulled the plug on production in 2019, with the last unit delivered in 2021. Emirates and Dubai stuck with the program longer than anyone else, and they're still flying more than 100 A380s today on their busiest routes.